We've been, I think, making really wonderful progress during this winter retreat in developing the boundless meditation on compassion, loving kindness, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. And I think we've discovered together how the merging together of that boundless meditation with the opening of contemplation of the space element can bring the mind to a place which is truly very calm, uh, truly settled, truly capable of coming to stillness. And in that calm, settled space of stillness, it's almost a natural kind of progression to go from the meditation on boundless space to the meditation on emptiness. One naturally may tend to think of space or outer space as being empty. You know, it just has a few planets or a few stars or something like that. But when we think of the space element, we think of the emptiness. We don't think about all of the stuff that's filling up the space. And so there's a kind of a natural and easy progression to the idea of emptiness. And then from emptiness, it's kind of an easy transition to come to the teaching, the Dhamma teaching about emptiness, which is an aspect of training the mind to not only notice what is present, or not only notice what's arising, but also to notice what is not present, to also notice that which is ceasing, that which is coming to its end. So just as when a person is in a monastery, all of the aspects of the village, or you could say the shopping center, are not present while at the monastery. And while you're in the forest, all of the aspects of the monastery and the people are not present in the forest. While the mind is affected by the hindrances, affected by sensual desire, by anger, by restlessness, by sleepiness, and so forth. You see those things as present. And when those things are not present, one can notice that they are not present. And just as when a person is caught up in generating the formations of self-delusion, and there's an impression, a feeling like this is me and this is the objects outside, or this is me and this is other people, or this is uh, me and this is something outside which is the cause of my problems, and so forth like that. When one has come to this meditation and come to this state of stillness, or all of that busyness and that activity of the mind, which is spinning up a story of the self, then we could notice that this self-making is not present. One could experience non-self, even experiencing like the meditation itself. It's not mine, doesn't belong to me. Or if you're looking at the phenomena internally and externally and internally, back and forth, and then looking at them both ways, internally and externally, then eventually the distinction between the idea of the internal as belonging to me and the external is outside of me, that distinction disappears, and so the space element inside and the space element outside, only space. So this is how far we've come during this course. So I'd like to invite all of us to sit for a while for meditation, following the similar procedure that we've been following. Um, Starting with the boundless, uh, especially the boundless compassion. So welcome to come to an upright and balanced posture for sitting. Aware of how you have your legs folded, or the position of the legs and the feet, and how the hands are placed, how the back is upright, feeling the connection to the cushion or chair where you're sitting, the material body with the weight of the body pressing down. And the upright body. Just enough energy to avoid slumping over. Aware how in the upright posture, the breath is able to flow. And without losing the posture, letting the soft parts of the body relax, relaxing the face, letting the shoulders drop, letting the arms hang from the shoulders, letting the belly be soft, letting the hips relax, letting the legs relax, letting the feet relax. Aware of the sensations in the body, touching, letting the body keep us connected to the here and now, not wandering to the past and future. Aware of how the state of mind is, whether it's calm or restless, bright or not so bright. And contented with how it is right now, not wanting anything else, just fully aware of what it's like to be still and quiet, aware of the body. And then bringing up the thought of kindness and loving kindness. May all beings be happy, free from anger, free from ill will, free from anxiety. May I be happy, free from anger, free from ill will, free from anxiety. And then letting that thought of kindness fill the whole body, every cell of the body, every atom of the body, filled with loving kindness, radiating loving kindness. And letting that thought of kindness radiate in the four directions. letting everybody, every being to the east, be happy and free. Every creature in the east with no boundary, without a limit. Every single creature happy and free. And turning towards the north, may all beings in the north be happy and free, radiating kindness without any boundary, including all to the north. And everyone to the west, happy, free, radiating kindness in the west. And all beings to the south, radiating kindness with no boundary. Let all beings in the south be happy, free, and all the creatures above, all the beings above, all of them happy and free, radiating kindness above. And all the beings below, happy and free, radiating kindness below. And letting the thought of kindness go all around, above and below, to all as to myself, wishing happiness and freedom in every direction with no boundary. radiating compassion all around in every direction without a boundary. Complete cessation of dukkha in every direction all around. Cessation of all dukkha. empty of all defilements, empty of craving, empty of becoming, free, the compassionate wish for every being. Freedom, emptiness, So I've been reflecting about the shunyata vimukha, or the release by way of emptiness. That's what we've been talking about this time. And there is the idea that if a person is able to incline the mind towards reflecting on non-self, that whatever belongs to the self or pertains to the self is not so. That in particular, that the things that one identifies with as being your own individuality, as being a self, being an unchanging, permanent, possessing some kind of essence. That all of the things that one identifies with are subsequently peeled away, bit by bit, again and again. More and more things come along, and we discover we didn't know we were clinging to that, and we find out we were clinging to it. And so the even within meditation, if you have an idea like that you're accomplishing something in meditation, or you're judging and evaluating the meditation, saying, I've come I've come this far, or I've not come this far, or I have to be attached to the experience of meditation, if there's whether it be a difficult meditation or a really fantastic, blissful meditation. When there's any kind of attachment to it, it's because there's some kind of identification there, and so then we may notice within meditation, it can happen sometimes that this continuous awareness of the ordinary self, the psychological self, that the bottom falls out from that. So, for example, with the elements meditation, that the earthiness of the earth element inside the body and the earthiness of the earth element outside in the yard or along the countryside, the uprightness of the posture of the upright body seated there, and the uprightness of the mountain which is seated on its base, that the earth element is just the earth element, that the earth inside the body and the earth outside the body is all just earth. It's not personal, doesn't belong to me. And so then just the same way with the psychological factors, if there's some kind of a pain or some kind of pleasure, the pain and pleasure is not personal, it's not belonging to me. Like my pain and all the pain of all the other beings anywhere in the world that experience that pain, it's just pain. It's just pain. It's not mine. Doesn't belong to me. Or some kind of a way that the mind creates different kind of fabrications and thoughts and thinking and projections and perceptions and intentions and all of the things that the mind fabricates. That whole process actually doesn't belong to me. One can even see this as a kind of a cultural phenomenon, that the thoughts and ideas and intentions and opinions and perceptions which are shared between a person and the other people around them, that the reality is actually being co-created within a interpersonal situation or even within a cultural situation, that it's like possible to perceive something that's allowed within a culture or within the interpersonal situation. This is why one of the greatest advices that I ever heard is that if a person is sometimes we do get a little bit caught up with views, kind of like there's been some kind of disagreement about something like that, or some kind of, and the mind is stirred up emotionally, and there's some kind of a story that's been concocted to that's going together with this emotional affliction, and then what you want to do is you want to go and talk to your friend about it. And so if you know somebody who has exactly the same opinions, who is going to say, yes, you're right, that's not the person you should speak to. If you've got opinions that are causing you afflictions, instead, if you have a wise friend who's able to say, well, maybe it's not what you think. maybe it's otherwise. That's the friend who's able to help you if you've been caught up with some kind of a mental fabrication. And in so doing, we can see how even our ideas, our mental fabrications, our opinions, our emotions, everything is not purely personal. It's actually interpersonal, created by causes, supported by conditions, created by the culture and by the interpersonal situations. And so then, but in meditation, if that whole process of discursive thought has gotten to be quieted down and pacified, then it could happen that the light comes on and one could realize that none of this belongs to me. Everything that I thought was mine doesn't belong to me. We see this meditation is sometimes called sunyata samadhi, which will be like the meditation on emptiness. And also we sometimes see it as the sunyata chaito vimutti, the liberation of the heart through emptiness. And or sometimes you see shunyata vimokha. So this sunyata vimokha is maybe the supreme level that one could get to with this practice of emptiness. And the reason I say that is because that's what the Buddha said. In the Samyutta Nikaya 43.4, he said, "What is the path leading to the unconditioned? That's the path leading to Nibbana." And he said, the Shunyata Samadhi, the meditation on emptiness, is the path leading to Samadhi. In that same passage, actually there were three kinds of samadhi that were mentioned. I'm smiling in a certain way because I know that Shari is in the room. And these three kinds of meditation came up at some time within the past 10 years. And I know that Shari was quite interested in hearing about it then. So I hope if you've forgotten about it, that you'd be glad to hear about it again. These are the meditation which is called undirected meditation, apanihita. The meditation which is signless, called animitta, and the meditation on emptiness, the sunyata. And so these contemplations, or this insight, which it may be that one of the other of them is more what your mind inclines to, or what you're able to do more easily than the other ones. So if you understand this lesson and see which one is the easier for you in terms of practicing. The apanihita, it's called undirected, and it also means desirelessness. So if you're practicing this desirelessness, then you don't want to be someplace else while you're meditating. You don't want your meditation to be different than what it is. You don't want to be trying to get somewhere else, or to be somebody different, or to do something different. All the desire that could potentially could come up during meditation, you could see that as something that's merely shaking up the mind, that's merely causing a disturbance of the mind, and you don't wish for that kind of disturbance. And so then you just let go of wanting anything in the meditation. It's said that this kind of practice could happen for a person who sees dukkha. So if you understand how this merry-go-round of the conditioned world, which is conditioned by craving, especially conditioned by aversion, how wearying it is, how tiresome it is, how how pervasive it is, how as long as one is caught up on that merry-go-round, there's almost no feeling which is not participating in dukkha, even a pleasant feeling, even something delightful, like if people tell you how smart you are and you feel delightful about that, or if you have some kind of pleasant experience, or see something beautiful, or see something entertainment, how delightful that is. Even that, it's just disturbance, unsatisfactory, short-lived, not worth very much at all. And so, and how pervasive our condition here in this realm of existence. How it's not only us, but all the beings everywhere, all the people everywhere. Why are they so bad? Because of craving, and because of dukkha. And so then something happens where it breaks, that the desiring mind breaks. It could be like it's a metaphor or a slogan or something. It's like what a person should do when they come to the end of the rope. They've been trying and trying and trying to hold on, to hang on, to cope with all of their troubles, all their problems, and they have done everything they can. They're got so much stress, so much burden, trying to cope, trying to survive, trying to overcome their problems or control their problems or something like that. And so finally they've had it. They've reached the end of the rope, and then the advice is, okay, if you came to the end of the rope, then let go. Let go. Give up. Realize there's nothing that I can do that's going to get me out of this fix. And then you let go. You just kind of like stop trying to control your problems. You stop trying to control dukkha. So if this way of practice is something that's really meaningful and really even like at the mundane level of the practice, it's the insight that you're able to see, then it could be that you can bring this onto your meditation cushion and aim for this desirelessness, not wanting to be someplace else when you're meditating. Just being satisfied to be open to what's arising in the meditation. And it could be that this release by desirelessness could be what makes it possible for you to enter into jhana or enter into the stillness of meditation. Or it could be, as you go down this path of training, whatever fetters are holding you back, that being able to drop those fetters to enter that noble path, that this could be how it comes to you. And then the second of the two in this sequence is called the signless. So a lot of times, depending on the technique of meditation that you've learned, people do sometimes use words. One meaning of a is like a perception where you have taken an object which has got almost a countless number of different aspects and features and qualities within a single object. And some aspect of it enables you to identify, okay, this is my mother, or this is my friend, this is a cup, that's a car. There's something that's the sign that enables you to recognize those phenomena. And this is the nature of the mind when the mind is fabricating a perception, that it takes something which is continuously changing and it gives continuity and stability to an object which, as you're actually experiencing it, is really constantly changing. So like, we have a car as a good example. So there's a car out in the driveway, and we think, this is the red car. But if I went to look at it now, it wouldn't look red. It's dark outside. The car would look kind of like black. And in all different kinds of light, the car is like continuously changing its color. So it's not a stable red car. And if I think the car is of a certain size, well, when the car is driving down the street, it's getting smaller and smaller, or it's getting larger and larger. It's continuously changing its size. If you think the car has got a certain shape, well, which direction are you looking at it? The shape is changing always. So as like the actual thing that are striking the eyes is continuously changing, but the mind has created a stable concept of car, and then we always recognize if it's that car, we think it's the same one. So then this is the where the delusion of permanence comes about. In meditation, we use signs to be able to help focus the mind. So if we speak about breathing in, breathing out, that directs the mind to the experience of breathing in and the experience of breathing out. Or if we bring the thought of loving kindness, if we say, may all beings be happy, those words evoke the mental fabrication of kindness, the intention of kindness. And then with that picture of kindness helps to support sustaining that intention of kindness, and may lead us into meditation. But then what's actually happening when the mind is in a loving kindness is a different thing altogether than the label. So the labeling has to be given up in meditation. And a good way to break the habit of labeling things or getting trapped in concepts, getting trapped in signs. And how it's really kind of rude, isn't it, to think that, like, mother or something could be reduced to a sign? Just a picture, and how hurt we might feel if somebody just characterized us according to our age, or according to our race, or according to our religion, and they just assume that they know all about you because they've latched onto some superficial aspect. And so there's a whole lot of evil that comes about from attachments to signs, and being having the mind become rigid in that way, to think that that this, whatever it is, this phenomenon must be staying with the concept of what you think it is. But if you see the impermanence of it, it's not only that it's changing, but that it's got a principle of uncertainty. That whatever you've defined it as, it's becoming something else right there. And so one way to get out of this attachment to signs, to come to the signless, is to maybe ask Am I sure? Am I sure? And realize I'm not sure. So doing this signless meditation, then the things that are rising up in at the beginning of meditation, you can experience them disappearing. So perhaps like sitting down for meditation and focusing on the sensations in the body, you could say, there's like a little bit of a headache here, there's a little bit of a sore elbow or something like that, or these are the fingernails, this is the heart, this is the belly. So these different objects that come into view during meditation, or it could be that because of thoughts, that different kind of thoughts come into meditation. I said mother, so that mother might come into your meditation, and you might get a very clear picture of mother, or you might start thinking, oh, I need to talk to my mother, and so then these all kinds of different phenomena can come along in meditation and can appear like as objects in meditation. But if one is directing towards, going towards this signless of giving up concepts and allowing the flow of impermanence, then you might experience that some of the things that are constantly touching the mind in the ordinary state of mind, those things disappear. It's almost an aspect of the procedure that we mentioned at the beginning of this hour, that if you not only notice what's present, but you notice what's not present, so then like the village can disappear from your mind, the people can disappear from your mind, sensations can disappear, the sensation of breathing could disappear, and as the different kind of phenomena disappear, then the state of mind becomes more and more towards stillness. So this is another way to, you could say, cultivating qualities of mind, which are qualities of wisdom in everyday life in your ordinary state of mind. If you are very skeptical about the stories the mind tells about the way it is, and if you are very ready to let go of labeling things, labeling people, and then in meditation, then one could approach samadhi, when that whole process of labeling or the process of fixing on perceptions drops off, and you go towards this animitta, this signless practice. And then the third kind of meditation, which was the first one that we started with, because it's been the theme that we've been developing for the past couple of weeks, is this idea of emptiness. And that is, in particular, the emptiness of the sense of self. So having the feeling in meditation that there's nobody in here. Nobody is doing the meditation. There's no one here to achieve anything. The striving and restlessness just creates a sense of self. And so that restlessness is not, you're not striving about it. And then when those phenomena do come along in terms of like feelings or perceptions or states of mind or something like that, when they're experienced as being impersonal phenomena, not mine, not me, not mine, not mine, not any part of myself. They're just phenomena that are arising, that have no owner. And then there's no resistance or no frustration, even if something comes along that's like restlessness or some kind of like affliction or something that comes along. If there's no self, there's nothing to blame. You wouldn't like blame yourself for having a painful feeling or having some afflicted idea comes along, or it's coming around. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. And so if the developing this contemplation that's aiming for emptiness is something that's more like doable for you, even without like the emptiness of the self could even be a little bit of a concept, and it may be difficult for sometimes to use non-self as a practice in meditation if you only are able to get a hold of that at a conceptual level, and then every time you try to like meditate on non-self, then all you do is just like start thinking about it, pondering and thinking about it, because you haven't really sort of like realized it directly. So that's not, I think, what is being pointed to by saying that the contemplation of non-self supports this liberation by emptiness, but more that it could be that the practices that are inclining the mind towards emptiness open a gate, so it could be possible that experientially something is coming up that the light can come on, and you can know, at least for a minute in the meditation, you could know, oh, this is what it's like not to be burdened with that sense of the self. So these are three ways of developing samadhi are also elsewhere in the text referred to as three kinds of liberation, or three Chaita Vimutti, liberation of the heart. And in that sense, it's, if we get the breakthrough to the noble, it may be that one or the other of these realizations could be the one that comes first. Like, as soon as you realize the emptiness of the self, then you would realize the signlessness. The other three would come right behind. But one or the other of these insights could be the one that's like the gate or the door about which you find your liberation. Thinking of these three as three kinds of samadhi, I think is also very helpful for people who want to practice jhana, and they may have learned of the entrance to jhana in terms of obtaining seclusion from the hindrances, or obtaining seclusion from applied thought and sustained thought. And yes, indeed, that is the pathway, the map of how one could approach jhana, and like what gets let go of at different stages of jhana. But these three different contemplations are maybe three different ways of coming to stillness. And so it could be that it would be more like fresh. To practice in that way, and you might find it's a fruitful complementary to the regular practice of jhana meditation, but kind of bringing a different sort of freshness to it. So this is what I have to tell you, and I hope it may be useful. Now is a good time for questions, comments, anything you'd like to say about how the meditation was for you, or if you have done some practice with this apanahita, this non-directed meditation, or the signless meditation, or the meditation on emptiness, and how these practices are for you. I'm going to give a special welcome to Monty, who's in the room right now. Monty just arrived for a visit at the monastery, so welcome. We're glad to see you. Okay, Niyata. You need to unmute. Push the button. There. Oh, sorry, excuse me 1 second. Wait. Select a speaker. Okay, should work. You're still muted.
Yes, I tried to unmute it.
Okay.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Acha. My question is, how many times each day we should do meditation, and what length of each time that would be the best for us to do practice meditation?
Well, now some people might not have very much time in their life because they have so many responsibilities.
Right.
So if all you have time for is 10 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes at night, if you're that type of person, I would recommend that in addition to your short meditation, do a short meditation every morning and every night, and don't skip. Do it every day, don't skip. And also give yourself a minute of meditation. So each you can set your watch on the hour, or you can set a signal like each time you go through a doorway, stop and meditate for 1 minute. So that many times during that you give yourself a minute. But if you have more time, you should increase the time of meditation. And if you can become habituated to like meditating for 1 hour or something like that, that also is very beneficial, very helpful. If you have the opportunity in your life and you really want to make progress in samadhi, even if you're not on retreat, if you've got the time in your life and you want to develop wisdom, what I have heard is that taking a longer retreat where you have a chance to meditate for 6-8 hours a day, or sitting and walking meditation for all day and night, that's really great. But then if you want to sustain it and keep going, if you can work up to giving 4 hours a day to meditation, including sitting meditation and walking meditation, for a monastic, that's a very good level of meditation. So that's what I would recommend for a monastic to try to sustain. So not only just 4 hours of sitting, but between the sitting and the walking, if you can get that much.
Thank you. Well, at Nirodharam, right now we kind of like get on to the meditation. After do prayer in the morning, we do meditation. And after do prayer in the evening, we do meditation. But for my personality, I try to add more link of the time. I mean, often. And then link of the, one of each time. It should be longer. And another question, you think the longer of the sit meditation is the better practice, better than short sitting, right? Like 1 hour sitting meditation would be better 10 or 20 minutes sitting meditation. Am I right?
I know that some monastics give more emphasis to walking meditation.
We do both.
And so if you spent 40 minutes of walking meditation and 20 minutes of sitting meditation, or vice versa, I don't have an opinion about which one is better. But actually not to forget walking meditation. And sometimes you have to, like decide in advance how long you're going to meditate for. And also, if you're a monastic, you have to make a kind of a determination at the beginning when you're going to come out of meditation. And they say that if there's a community meeting, you should be willing to come out of meditation.
Yeah.
I guess in the older days, the monks would be so busy, so deep in meditation that they couldn't get them for a meeting. And so they're supposed to make a decision at the beginning time that they will come out of meditation if there's a meeting. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ajahn.
I'm going to call on Shari.
Yeah, I just had a side comment on your recommendation for 4 hours. I just was going to mention that, when I was, I had a lay teacher who was teaching us the emptiness and well, we also had a monastic who was teaching us the signless aspects. And even the lay teacher was saying, you really need to meditate for 4 hours a day. So I don't know exactly where that comes from, but not only from monastics, but for lay people. I haven't been able to reach that lofty amount of time myself, unless I'm on retreat. But that was the recommendation for people that were in that group. And I had another question. One issue, and this is probably a personal issue that I have, but I don't know if it's helpful to bring it up or not. One issue that I've had with practicing emptiness is I've had a post-traumatic stress disorder, and I found that I tended to dissociate just psychologically and to distance myself from reality. And that's in Western culture, that's considered pathological, right? And I found that the experience of dissociation, the sort of out of body thing, I think describing it as out of body is a bit overdone, but there's a sense that you're separate, and you do have a sort of sense of signlessness, that nothing is you're seeing things kind of just for the pure physical aspect of what they are. If you're looking, your perceptions are detached from your sense of self. And I'm just wondering if I had as practicing emptiness, I had a hard time distinguishing between dissociation and the practice of meditation. And I wondered if you had meditation, particularly around emptiness. And I wondered if you had any thoughts on that, or knowledge or experience with that.
I do. My personal psychological formation that is not quite the same thing as PTSD, but because it's not a secret that in my younger life I was a drug addict, and so I'm deeply afraid of altered states of consciousness because I had misused them so much, and I'm afraid I don't want the mind to go there into a self-induced intoxication. So then, in both cases, I think that the Blessed One was onto something when he offered the boundless Brahmavihara practice. This is the protection. So if the practice on emptiness is launching from the boundless Brahmaviharas and is grounded in that, if it's grounded in compassion, then you won't come to harm. So I think that is, they do also say that it's good to have the guidance of a qualified meditation teacher or a Dhamma teacher that will prevent you from taking like a wrong turn with the meditation. But I think in your case, it's not like you're just going to like by mistake get all confused about what's going on because of your naivete, because you've already had so much training and so much instruction. So I'm not saying that you don't need to have a teacher, but that it is. I don't think that you would go into a dissociated state and think that you were an arahant because of that. But I also think that for all of us, that the loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity are really such tremendous protective meditations, so that any kind of psychological formation we have because of our past conditioning, that we wouldn't take a wrong turn because of that.
Thank you, Ayya.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for your patient listening tonight, and for your participation, for your practice, and for your good efforts.
Ayya, this is
Oh.
Richard. There was a question in the chat
Oh, thank you.
from Damon. He put it in quite a while ago.
Are emptiness and anatta similar? Yes. Yes, they are similar. They're quite related. I mean, emptiness is kind of like if you said there's tranquility and insight, like emptiness is sort of the tranquility side of it, and anatta is the insight side of it, but there are two aspects of the same thing. Thank you. Okay, so let's close by giving respect to the Triple Gem. Araham Samma Sambuddha Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Svakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamman Namasami Subharipanno Bhagavato Savakasamno Sanghang Namami.
Thank you so much, Acha.
Thank
Good
you,
to see
Ayya.
you again.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good night, Ayya.
Good night.